I really never thought that I would be in the summer of 2019 in Ireland learning about arts, and when that was happening it felt very surreal. That was the landing in Ireland was one of my top highlights because it's the first step, that's where the journey started.
One of the highlights was Belfast Exposed because their keen interest in documentation and them talking about how they've been documenting over 36 years, even during political conflict, which is something that I find really interesting as it highlighted the importance of documentation.
I had no idea about what the historical events that happened or took place there, and it was really eye-opening.
And we went into this gallery called the Golden Thread, and it was one of the smaller galleries, and there was an artist called Yusuke Asai. He was a Japanese artist and he was painting with soil. What inspired me about his work was the fact that I can see the character development in one piece and I can see the story going on from A to Z in one piece.
One of the highlights was the Mostyn gallery, especially an artist called Jessica Quinns, which she had 3 artworks set up there talking about her oppressive domestic home life and how she uses her art as sort of documentation towards that, but also as a relief and a release, which is something that I relate with a lot. The way that she contrasted her life and her experiences with her colors and her choice of materials was something really inspiring to watch. And to watch that in a gallery as well was something transformative because it was able to let me see where my art could end up.
A highlight from the visit was coming to Wales and discovering the beautiful landscapes and discovering about the mythical legends in the landscapes. And I always think that the world's smallest places contain the richest history and darkest mythology, and I am seeing sort of a connection between Kuwait and Wales.
A highlight of the trip in Wales as well, I like the mythology and how it is embedded in every the architecture. They're not using it as a museum or a place that you go visit. No, you're living in it.
Another highlight would be going to the Yorkshire Sculpture Park, just walking around, looking at nature, looking at art, coexisting with nature. I didn't know too much about Henry Moore or sculptures in general. I'm a street artist, but that gave me a different sense, understanding, looking at those things it was very beautiful.
One of the highlights was the Quarry Women exhibition in the National Slate Museum and how they've been able to go back and to place themselves in an industry that had previously not been as accepting towards them. Another highlight was meeting the artist Jules and watching her talk about her work and how she was able to immerse herself in the landscape.
We'll take a picture of that one.
On my part, I feel it's essential for me to kind of bring the artists together to use mindfulness exercises, meditation, to tap into their subconscious. This is an opportunity for them to really let go of their fear and kind of dive into something new.
We did this little exercise in the Hepworth gallery. We had to sit down for a while to observe one of the artist's work, and that kind of broadened my perception of stories and storytelling.
The trip made me think about my practice in a sort of a different way and how I saw things before the trip. It made me think of the history of the Middle East region, and I would like to go back and research and figure out how to bring that more in my art.
Being a part of Making Marks and being here has definitely given me a different way of looking at myself and my practice, because it makes me go back and think, why did I start doing what I'm doing now? Why am I here? And it's because I wanted to make a mark. I wanted to get in and be an artist, create new things.
The trip has definitely made me think of sharing vulnerabilities and seeing other artists and artworks being as exposed as ever. And to me, that's something that's hard and it's a boundary to break. And to see those artists flourish and to see myself being connected to those artworks, and it definitely did. rise up my level of confidence and self-esteem.
Something I think I'll take back from the trip, that I will think more about how to express what I see and what is real, rather than try to think so much about what people expect to see and what they want to see.
The opportunity of getting this commission from the Arab British Centre has not just given me a lot of confidence to showcase my work, but the ability to have time and space to kind of relay the voices of the women living in the Arab region, including my own, in a way to further connections and to bridge understandings between different women in the community. And I feel like having the space and time to explore that is something that might help me understand my own culture a lot better.